What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, my name is Erica. It is so good to have you. In today's video, I'm going to be answering some frequently asked questions when it comes to hybrid training, as well as just kind of going through a day of workouts, a day of eating, and showing you guys what my lifestyle looks like as a hybrid athlete. Just to give you guys some context, if you are brand new here, I consider myself a hybrid athlete because I train in multiple different disciplines. So I'm big on going to the gym and strength training, but I also run, bike, and swim, and I'm training for a triathlon at the end of this year. So with that being said, I do a lot of different kinds of exercise, and that can be confusing to people who are just starting, trying to incorporate new disciplines into their current routine, whether it's they just go to the gym or they just do yoga and they want to incorporate new movement and new exercise. I have a lot of tips and experience to share with you guys today. So without further ado, let's get into some commonly asked questions. So the first question is, what do you do to prevent injuries from your training, running, cycling, etc.? A lot of people, when they first start a new discipline, they'll just go balls to the walls and they'll try and go 7 days a week and go crazy. And for me, I learned the hard way when I first started running. I sprained both my ankles like within a month of running, and it was so discouraging and so painful. And one of the main reasons why that happened was because I just went too hard too fast. So one of my top tips for preventing injury in the first place is take it very slow and ease into whatever new discipline you're doing. You want the first couple of months to feel relatively easy. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy to start running, but I don't want you to feel like, oh my god, I have to run a half marathon within 2 months of training. You want to take it easy. You want your runs to feel easy, relatively speaking, nasal breathing, holding a conversational pace. Same thing with going to the gym. You're not just going to go to the gym and squat 200 pounds the first day. You're going to start with a dumbbell or a bodyweight exercise and then build from there. One of my other top tips for hybrid training is making sure that you are staying consistent with your strength training. A lot of times what I'll see when someone starts running, or for example, someone that's new to triathlon, it is a lot to kind of take on if you're swimming, biking, and running at the same time. So a lot of times people will kind of let that strength training portion fall off to the wayside, and that's when injuries come up because you're not continuing to strengthen the foundation and practice those foundational movement patterns, focusing on balance and stability and core strength. All of those things are going to be really important for whatever discipline you are adding on to your routine. And then the second question, which kind of goes off from that question, is how do you know when to actually rest versus if you're just feeling unmotivated for a workout? And again, I think this is really context dependent. It depends on how long have you been training for, how much volume are you used to. Again, if you're looking at someone like Lucy Davis, for example, who's a big inspiration for me, she comes from a very, very athletic background. She was a professional swimmer, basically training 7 days a week for hours every single day. So her body is primed to handle a large training load and a lot of training volume. Whereas the average person trying to do what she's doing, you're going to injure yourself, you're going to burn out. So taking a look at it objectively and saying, what am I actually capable of doing right now, and where's my baseline and where can I build from? Because the last thing that I want you guys to do is just jump the gun, get really excited about it, and then injure yourself and have to take a bunch of time off. So for me, I'm currently training pretty much every day out of the week, and some of my days are 2-a-days, which I know is a lot of training volume, but I just want to highlight that I have worked my way up to this training volume and I feel like I'm able to recover very well. I'm noticing that my energy levels are good. I'm able to continue to progress in the gym, which is a big tell. If you're noticing that you've hit a plateau or you're losing strength, probably a sign that you're overtraining. I'm also sleeping really well. I'm recovering, like I wake up and I feel recovered, and I have energy to perform well in my sessions, and I'm progressing in my sessions. So if you're noticing that your training is getting worse, if you feel like you're regressing instead of progressing, that's probably a sign that you might need to pull back a little bit. And if you're feeling really exhausted, really burnt out, it might also mean that you need to just take a break from training or take a couple days off. We all have days where we're feeling not so motivated. I personally can tell the difference just in like my body and how fatigued I am. So if I wake up one day and I'm feeling sore and really tired, that's a sign to me that I need to take a rest day, because I often don't feel that way. If I'm just kind of feeling like, oh, I don't really want to do this run, but I have energy and I feel good, I don't feel sore, then that's a sign that it's just low motivation. I had a couple questions on if I track macros, if I eat intuitively, and just like how to understand the amount amount of nutrients that your body needs in order to perform. So I've talked about this in many videos, but to give you guys some context, I tracked macros for probably 5 years on and off, and I have been intuitively eating for over a year now. And when I say intuitively, I kind of mean just more mindfully eating and informed eating, because I tracked for so long that I have a lot of awareness as to what my body needs in order to nourish my body. And I feel like for a lot of people, they don't know where to start, they don't know how to get there, and that's why I encourage a lot of people to actually track macros at the beginning of their fitness journey, because it teaches you so much about how your body responds to different kinds of food, what a portion size looks like, how much your body actually needs to function and thrive and to maintain your weight at this activity level. So it gives you a lot of data that you can then use when you decide, hey, I don't actually want to weigh out all my food anymore. So that is one of my number one tips for people asking, how do I know what my body needs? Track your macros, get some data, write it down, take photos, take measurements, take progress photos, and do that for a couple of months to really gain an understanding of what your body needs and how it changes depending on what you're putting in your body and the activity level that you're doing. Okay, some running questions. What do you listen to when you run, and what headphones do I use to run? It depends on the run. I oftentimes will be listening to podcasts while I run. A couple of different reasons why. Number one, it helps me to run slower and run at an easier pace. I find often if I'm listening to really fun, spunky, fast-paced music, I will want to run faster, which is oftentimes not what I need to be doing in my training. If I do an interval run, I will sometimes listen to music. But for the most part, it is a podcast, sometimes an audiobook, but mostly a podcast. Or if I'm running on the treadmill, I will watch YouTube videos. That's also a fun way that I pass the time on the treadmill when I'm running. And the headphones that I use are the Shox Open Run Pros. They are my favorite headphones for running because they don't go directly in your ear. They kind of sit right on top, and so you can hear your surroundings. You can hear if there's a car coming or if someone's coming up behind you on a bike. It just makes me feel a little bit more safe when I'm running, especially as a female and someone that runs early in the mornings. Another running question, do you take breaks when you run? For the most part, no, but that's not to say that that is wrong or bad. When I first started running, I took a lot of walking breaks, and you should not feel bad if you need to stop and walk. In fact, a lot of times when people are trying to work on getting comfortable in their zone 2 heart rate, they will have to stop and walk to bring their heart rate back down, and that's totally normal and totally fine. I will stop to walk very rarely, and it's usually only if I have to pee, if I have like a stitch or something, if I'm like trying to drink water and I for whatever reason can't drink it while I'm running, or if I'm doing interval sessions where I'm running for a specific period of time and have to take like an actual 60-second walk break or whatever that my training tells me to do. But one of my biggest beginner tips for runners is do walking and running intervals. Get your body acclimated to running and slowly kind of phase out the walking and increase the running portion, if that makes sense. And I would highly recommend the Run a Coach app, which is the app that I use to run, because if you are a beginner and you put in your beginner goals, it will give you those walking and running intervals that you can start with. Okay, a biking question. What kind of road bike did you start with? I've been looking to get one, but I don't know what would be good for beginners. So I bought a Trek Emonda. Now, this isn't necessarily the cheapest bike, but it's also not the most expensive bike. I was very overwhelmed when I first got into the triathlon and the cycling world. I had no idea what to look for, and so what I did was I went to 2 of like the biggest bike stores in my city, and I asked the workers, I said, hey, this is what I'm looking for. These are my goals. Can you help me out? And they were so helpful in telling me this is like the base model. You don't really need anything better than this if you're just getting started, or if you have like cash to burn and you want something that's a little bit more upgraded, you can get this option. So I opted for a road bike because I do want to do triathlon, and that is kind of what most people want to get for a triathlon. You could get a hybrid bike. There's literally so many options, but my biggest piece of advice is go to the bike store and ask. Like, they're gonna help you. Tell them what your budget is, tell them what, you know, your goals are, and just go from there. Someone asked how I prevent chafing while running. Running with shorts specifically. They've been chafing on long runs. I don't typically chafe. I've chafed like maybe twice in my life, and it's usually on very long runs. I have gotten a Body Glide chafing stick from Amazon. I'll put a photo up on the screen, and it's also linked in my Amazon storefront, which is in the description box. But I have heard amazing success stories about that chafing stick One of my best friends, Maddie, has it and she loves it for her running journey. So yeah, I would recommend a chafing stick, or you can also just use like Vaseline and rub it in those sensitive areas. Someone said, how did you get started running and what were the steps you took? I have a whole video on this. Actually, I think I have multiple videos on how to start running, so I will try and link those in the description box as well. But I started running over a year ago now. I honestly just downloaded the Nike Run Club app. I tried it, I didn't like it, and then I downloaded Runna and I loved it. And I started on their 5K program, and then I worked up to a 10K program. And then, as you guys know, I've done my half marathons this year already. I would highly recommend. It's just so good for beginners, for anyone that wants to run. They customize the program based on your goals, so I would highly recommend download the Runna app. It's super affordable. I also have a code for you guys. It's just Erica2, and it saves you guys some money on your plan. But it's nice to have something written out to follow, because if you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go for a run, it's hard to build from there. It's hard to know like how to structure it yourself. Any advice on how to start running outdoors? Just started running like a month ago, but indoors. Honestly, girl, it's not that much different. The one thing that you kind of have to take into consideration with outdoors is temperature, humidity, and the incline. It's very hot where I am, so I'm running outside in the morning where I can kind of escape the heat. And it's also relatively, there is some incline and some hills around me, so try and plan out a route that's maybe flat to get started, just so you're not intimidated to like run up a huge hill. Come prepared, bring a water bottle, or run somewhere, maybe like a park where there is a water fountain that you can stop at, or a bathroom. I would highly recommend plan your routes near like bathrooms if you're anything like me, and oftentimes the runs get your, digestion going, if you know what I'm saying. Plan your routes before you go. Try and find somewhere that has a bathroom, bring water, or have like a water fountain. Try and find somewhere flat at first and go when it's not super hot out or like in the direct sun. Oh, and also tell someone where you're going and how long you're going to be gone for your own personal safety. Okay, I'm going to do this last question, and then if we want to do more in another video, let me know. But this last question says, do you not train core, or do you just see core day as running? So I wouldn't consider running as like a super crazy core workout. I do core in my workout sessions at the gym. I usually just don't record it because I don't find it that interesting. I don't do a ton of core by any means, but I normally do core like twice a week at the gym. It's usually like 3 sets of like cable crunches or hanging leg raises or dead bugs. So yes, I do incorporate core. I think it's very important, but I just don't record it all the time. I forget, and I feel like it's not the most interesting thing to watch. So that answers that question. All right, so those are all the questions that I have for today. If you guys want me to do more Q&A style segments in my future videos, let me know. But without further ado, let's get back into the rest of the video. Hopefully this will be in focus, but I just want to show you guys my outfit for the gym today. This is the halter bra from Navigation. I'm obsessed with it. And then these are, I think, the mint contour seamless shorts. We're going to do a full body workout, and then I do have a bike ride later today, so I'll show you guys what that looks like. Here's the back, super cute. So let's go to the gym. All right, let's talk about this workout. So I started off with this machine, Good Morning. Now, this is new to me. I just started doing these last week, so I'm still learning, but honestly, these feel amazing on my glutes and hams. And I started this workout by doing these, and I did 4 sets of 10 to 12. And then I moved into a machine hip thrust. Honestly, girlfriend, I normally prefer doing a Smith machine one, but this is all that we had access to today because the Smith machine was taken. So 3 sets of 10 to 12 on the hip thrusts, and then I moved into a barbell flat bench press. Again, 3 sets, 10 to 12, making sure to come all the way down to touch your chest, pause, and then explode up. Next up for upper body, I have a chest supported row. You guys have probably seen these before. Again, I follow the same workouts. I don't change my workouts every single week. Sometimes I have to modify things if the equipment's not available or whatever. But if you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen this workout before. I did 3 sets of 10 to 12 on those rows, and then I moved into a kettlebell step up, really doing my best to keep most of that weight on the front foot and just gently tapping that back foot on the ground. 3 sets of 10 to 12 each leg on this, and I finished with a chest fly on this pec deck machine. 3 sets, 10 to 12. I like to think about it almost as a scooping motion, and that really helps me activate my chest. All right, we just got home from the grocery store. I'll just show you guys quickly what we grabbed. This is not like everything for a week by any means, but it's just some staples. So in here we have onions and then 2 of these sugar-free stir-fry sauces, which are my favorite from G. Hughes. We got a bunch of shredded cheese because we're going to make pizza today. So we just got some pizza crust from Walmart, the Walmart brand. Some peppers. I've been seeing these everywhere, and so I wanted to try them. They're the Starburst sparkling ice. Onions, more onions, mushrooms. I got some extra sprinkles for my creamies. I got the chocolate ones this time because they didn't have rainbow. I'm pretty sure they taste the same though. And then I also got some extra lean ground beef. So, oh, and the cherry Dr. Pepper Zero, which is so fire. So, little mini grocery haul. Now I'm gonna make my post-workout snack smoothie. All right, we're gonna make a smoothie. You guys know the drill. Post-workout always. Starting with almond milk, about 1.5 cups. Unsweetened vanilla is my personal preference. I don't think I've ever had a smoothie with oat milk, but I kind of want to try. Next up, just a scoop of PEScience protein. Code Erica saves you guys money, and this is my favorite flavor right now. It's the chocolate peanut butter. I go between this and the chocolate cupcake for smoothies, and then for my creamies, I use the sugar cookie flavor. And we've got some frozen strawberries, some cocoa powder, salt for electrolytes and to bring out the flavor. And then I do like 3 handfuls of ice. And blend. All right, and we just pour her up. And that's the post-workout shake for the day. Alrighty, we are back and it is lunchtime. I'm gonna make those pizzas that I showed you. So I'm gonna make, I don't know, I'm thinking like maybe barbecue chicken. I don't know if I have barbecue sauce, we will see. But I'm gonna put veggies on it, chicken on it, throw it in the oven, cook it up, and that's gonna be my lunch for today. I'm really excited. I haven't had pizza in a while, so let's get to cooking. Okay, I've got all of the goods. So I don't have barbecue sauce, so we're just gonna go in with normal, like tomato marinara, whatever you wanna call it. And I'm just doing half of this pizza crust. It's like 60 carb, I think, for half of it. We're gonna do a layer of cheese. Oh, that is very stuck together. Layer of cheese. Gonna go in with veggies. We've got peppers, we've got mushrooms, which I did not cut up, but we're just gonna kind of like grate. Oh my god. Already diced onion, which makes my life a little bit easier. And chicken, and then finish with another little layer of cheese. That's pretty loaded. Okay, I'm gonna throw this in the oven for like 10 minutes. Okay, we've got our pizza, and I'm gonna put a little bit of sauce to dip it in. Looks phenomenal. Can't wait to eat it. Amazing. We're back, and I just finished a little bit of a walk. It's really hot outside, so I just walk on the treadmill and like do stuff on my phone while I'm walking, which is kind of good. Like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now it is snack time, and you guys know I was on my cottage cheese on rice cakes kick for so long, and I still love that, but I have a new, slightly different version with blackberries, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. So let's get into my afternoon snack, and then after that I have a nail appointment. I still have no idea what I want to get done, which is very typical for me, so we'll see when we get there. Maybe I'll definitely show you guys after, because I'll show you my dinner. But yeah, nail appointment after my snack. So let's make a little high protein treat. Okay, so it does still involve cottage cheese. Shocker, if you're new here, I love cottage cheese. Instead of putting this on a rice cake, we're gonna make a bowl. So I'm gonna throw just a tiny bit of protein powder in it for flavor. A little dash of stevia. I like things very sweet. If you don't, then don't add the stevia, but I like things extra sweet. Next up, we have some fresh blackberries. I've been on a blackberry. Oh, these are so fresh. Oh my god, we just bought these today. We're almost out of this bottle, so it's a little slow. Come on, girl. Okay, some natural, raw, unfiltered honey, and then finish off with some Rice Krispies. one of my favorite cereals for a little bit of crunch and some extra carbs. And there we go. That is my afternoon snack. Berries, cottage cheese, honey, and cereal. We are back with some pinky red nails. I am so hungry. I'm gonna make the tacos and then show you what they look like after, because I genuinely will pass away if I don't eat in like the next 5 minutes. So we're gonna do that. I'll show you the tacos and then we'll talk about my evening workout for the day. Okay, and there we have my tacos for dinner. This isn't like that much food, but I'm also gonna work out pretty soon, so I'll have my like dessert after. So we just have tortillas, cheese, chicken, avocado, and salsa. Gonna knock this back and then I'll talk to you guys about my workout. Okay, so I have my indoor bike trainer set up, so I'm gonna do my workout inside because it's way too hot to do it outside still. And let me show you what it connects to. So it basically connects to an app called Zwift that I connect to Motive, which is the training app that I use. So it basically syncs everything. You can do the workout and it literally feels like you're playing Mario Kart, but on your bike. And I just have a 30-minute, like pretty easy ride to do tonight. So I'll try and record some BTS for you guys, but it's actually pretty fun. All right, so I have a 10-minute warm-up and then I have 3 efforts for 3 minutes with breaks in between. And then I have a 5 or 10-minute cool down. So this entire workout will only be 30 minutes and it's mostly just easy riding. I'm never going above 150 watts, so pretty good, excited. And after my workout, I rinsed off in the shower and I went to make my Ninja Creamy dessert for the night. And whenever I make my creamy, I just make the one for the next day while I wait for it to blend. So you saw me putting in milk, protein powder, stevia, mixing it up and then throwing it back into the freezer. And this flavor tonight was sugar cookie, and I just added in some chocolate sprinkles and some frosted animal crackers. It's like my favorite thing ever, and that's gonna conclude the video.